a man over the age of 60 who feels worried because you're waking up several times every night just to go to the bathroom? Have you noticed that your urine flow isn't as strong as it used to be, or that uncomfortable feeling that your bladder never completely empties? If this sounds familiar, I want you to slow down for a moment and really listen, because what you're about to hear may be one of the most important messages for your health in years. Many men assume these changes are simply part of getting older. They accept restless nights, constant bathroom trips, and daily fatigue as something unavoidable. But the truth is far more hopeful than that. There is a hidden factor that quietly affects prostate health in millions of men, often without them realizing it. There is one category of food that most men consume almost every single day, often believing it's harmless or even healthy. Yet, this food may be silently damaging the prostate over time. This isn't just a minor dietary mistake or a harmless habit. It's a slow, quiet contributor to inflammation, discomfort, and long-term prostate problems. And if it isn't reduced or eliminated, no medication, no supplement, and not even exercises will fully restore the comfort, rest, and quality of life you're looking for. The idea that prostate problems are an unavoidable consequence of aging is one of the biggest myths in men's health. While age can play a role, many prostate issues develop gradually over decades due to lifestyle and dietary choices that create chronic inflammation and hormonal imbalance. In other words, the problem isn't age alone. It's what the body has been dealing with year after year. My name is Dr. Evelyn Hartwell. I specialize in men's health, and for more than 15 years, I've worked closely with men who felt exhausted, frustrated, and sometimes even embarrassed by prostate-related symptoms. Many of them arrived at my clinic believing their best years were behind them, that uninterrupted sleep and confidence in their bodies were gone for good. What I've learned through years of clinical experience is this: when we stop treating only the symptoms and begin addressing the biological causes behind prostate inflammation, the body has an incredible ability to rebalance and heal itself. One of the most important truths I want you to understand is that the strongest weapon against prostate enlargement is not a pill or a surgical procedure. The most powerful tool is much simpler and far more accessible. It's the food you choose to eat every day. Many men are told that prostate problems are inevitable with age, but that belief can actually be harmful. It discourages action and keeps people from addressing the root causes. Today, I want to help you understand how you can protect your prostate at its foundation and reclaim your quality of life in a natural, sustainable way. Behind most prostate problems lies a cycle of chronic inflammation and cellular stress. This ongoing inflammation is one of the main drivers of prostate enlargement and urinary symptoms. What's especially concerning is that this inflammatory cycle is fueled daily by very common foods that are often considered normal parts of a regular diet. The most common contributors are frequent consumption of dairy products, red meat, and refined sugars. Even men who believe they eat reasonably well are often surprised to discover how much these foods appear in their daily routine. In this discussion, I want to help you understand how these foods can quietly sabotage prostate health and, just as importantly, what you can do to counteract their effects. This is not about extreme diets or deprivation. It's about making informed, practical changes that support your body's natural balance. What I'm sharing with you is more than simple nutrition advice. Think of it as a roadmap, one that can help restore energy, improve sleep, and reduce your dependence on temporary solutions that only mask the problem. The first step is understanding what's actually happening inside the prostate. Over the years, I've sat across from countless men, fathers, grandfathers, hardworking individuals who ask me the same question with worry in their eyes. Doctor, what's happening to me? Behind that question is more than just physical discomfort. There's a sense of lost control, vulnerability, and fear that life is shrinking around bathroom schedules and sleepless nights. Many men tell themselves this is just part of aging, comparing it to gray hair or slower reflexes. But prostate inflammation is not an unavoidable fate. Chronic inflammation is a key driver behind benign prostate enlargement. When inflammation is left unaddressed, Treatments that only target symptoms can feel ineffective or short-lived. It's like trying to calm a fire without removing the source of the heat. The prostate is highly sensitive to its internal environment. Every food you eat sends signals to your body. Some foods promote calm and balance, while others increase irritation and inflammation. Diets high in saturated fats, refined sugars, and heavily processed dairy products tend to push the body into a constant state of low-grade inflammation. Over time, that inflammation contributes to abnormal prostate tissue growth and worsens urinary symptoms. That's why identifying and reducing these dietary triggers is so important. Changing what you eat doesn't just help reduce inflammation. It can improve urine flow, reduce nighttime bathroom trips, and restore confidence in your body. When prostate cells are under stress, they respond with inflammation as a protective mechanism. Initially, this response is helpful. But when inflammation becomes chronic, it leads to unwanted tissue growth and pressure on the urethra. This is what causes weak urine flow, incomplete emptying, and frequent nighttime urination. Several factors can contribute to this process, including genetics and stress. However, dietary habits are among the most influential and modifiable factors. In my experience, 3 specific food groups act like fuel for this internal inflammatory process. The first is dairy products. Many people are surprised to hear this because dairy has long been associated with strength and health. But in older men, particularly those with existing prostate sensitivity, high dairy intake may contribute to hormonal imbalance and inflammation. Research has shown links between excessive dairy consumption and increased prostate health risks, possibly due to calcium overload and growth-related hormones found in milk. The second contributor is red meat, especially fatty or processed varieties. When consumed frequently, particularly when cooked at high temperatures, red meat can introduce inflammatory compounds into the body. These compounds may promote oxidative stress and tissue irritation, including within the prostate. The third and often most overlooked factor is refined sugar. Sugary foods and drinks cause rapid spikes in blood sugar, which trigger inflammatory responses throughout the body. Over time, this systemic inflammation creates an unfavorable environment for prostate health. Together, dairy, red meat, and refined sugars form a powerful trio that can maintain chronic inflammation if consumed regularly. Reducing these foods isn't about restriction, it's about creating conditions where the body can function more efficiently. Many men question how diet could possibly matter more than medication. It's a reasonable question in a world focused on quick fixes. However, research consistently shows that diets rich in fruits, vegetables, whole foods, and healthy fats are associated with better prostate health and fewer urinary symptoms. What's most important is that proper nutrition works at the cellular level. When inflammatory triggers are removed and replaced with supportive nutrients, prostate tissue has the opportunity to calm, repair, and function more normally. I've seen this firsthand. One patient, a retired teacher in his mid-60s, came to me exhausted from waking up multiple times every night. After making small but consistent dietary changes, reducing dairy, limiting red meat, and increasing vegetables, he noticed improvements within weeks. His sleep improved, his energy returned, and his confidence grew. This wasn't a miracle. It was biology responding to better signals. Healing at the root doesn't require perfection. It requires consistency. Even one meaningful dietary change maintained over time can begin to shift the body out of chronic inflammation. This approach isn't about chasing trends or relying on extreme measures. It's about building a foundation that supports long-term health. Pills and procedures may help manage symptoms, but without addressing underlying inflammation, their benefits are often temporary. Your body is not a machine. It responds best to steady, supportive habits. When you reduce inflammatory foods, you give your immune system a chance to relax and repair rather than stay in constant defense mode. It's never too late to begin. I've worked with men well into their 70s and 80s who experienced real improvements simply by committing to one small, consistent change. Now that you understand the connection between diet, inflammation, and prostate health, you're in a position of empowerment. You're no longer guessing or resigning yourself to discomfort. You're making informed choices. If you choose to start today, begin with one step. Reduce one inflammatory food group for 30 days. Observe how your body responds. Many men notice better sleep, improved energy, clearer thinking, and reduced urinary discomfort. At the end of the day, this isn't about fear. It's about awareness, education, and action. Your body has not given up on you. It's constantly responding to the signals you send it. With the right support, balance, and comfort are still possible. The most important step is the first one, and the best time to take it is now.